Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another garden tour. And for those of you who are new, I'm Rudy and this is my garden. I live here in Southern California in Zone 9B. It's late August and the plants are still producing, so come along and check out my garden. So I just want to show you guys the outside perimeter of the garden. So I have some zinnias here that I got hit with blight, but there's still some new growth here, so that's why I don't really want to take it out just yet. Same thing for these as well. Here I got I believe this was a tie-dye tomato sucker. Still going good. I have another tie-dye tomato here, this small little pot. And here I got a variety of different types of peppers. So this one's a pepper blot here. It's coming in. And then I got a few more of these pepper blots in the back. And all these are in the self-watering container, which I found to be really easy to use. So if you guys don't know, and I don't know if I told you this already, but basically there's a little water reservoir here. You fill this with water, and then eventually, once it hits its maximum water, it starts to dump out the water here in this little spout. So about this much is full of water, and the rest is soil. So it does wicking action. Basically the soil that's here absorbs the water from the bottom and takes it up into the root zone. And I just water this every 3 days and basically try to maintain as much as possible. But you can see there's a lot of dead leaves. I didn't take this one out. This one's pretty much dead. But these habaneros are basically ready to be picked, and I have a lot more still. Here we got a Big Mac's pumpkin. So this is a 7-gallon container. People say that you get away with 10. I'm gonna try to get away with 7, and I'm gonna try and keep this to 1 main liter, and hopefully I get a pumpkin out of it by October. And here's some new peppers that I just transplanted in. These are they're sweet banana peppers. Now I put these little zip ties, or not really, they're like twist ties, just to hold them from flopping over and touching the soil, and then potentially getting a disease and dying off. But I didn't really tie this too tight. You can see it's really loose. It's just more to kind of hold it steady. And then here I have some white bush scallop squashes. So it's the first time I'm growing these, and they seem to be doing really well in this pot. I have 2 just in case. It is recommended for this variety to grow 1, but I'm gonna grow 2 and see if I can get away with it. Now here I have some Empress of India Nasturtium, and again I planted quite a few plants. One of them died here, got eaten by some bug, but the rest are thriving. Now this one's looking a little beat up, so that's why I got backups here, and so far so good. There is some signs of pests, but I don't see anything. It might be the damn pincher bugs. If you guys haven't seen my pincher bug video, I'm gonna link it down below if you check that out. And then next, here I got a zucchini. This is a 3-headed zucchini. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, and there's the main stem at the bottom. But it's getting hit by some powdery mildews, you can see. So I've been coming out and spraying it with a 1 to 10 solution of water and peroxide. So that's 10 parts water to 1 part peroxide, and it's kind of kept it at bay for a little bit, but we're getting late into the season, so it's gonna die off soon, but hopefully I get a few more zucchini before then. And then here I planted a watermelon. So the stem is in here, and it's just been kind of growing, and I'm letting these stems kind of touch the soil because I want it to kind of root into this pot as well. There's like actually nothing in this pot, but you can kind of scoot the soil over a little bit, and eventually these vines on the watermelon will actually start to root once they're in contact with soil. So by doing that, if say for instance, you could see here it's getting hit by some blight or some type of fungal issue. So if this part completely dies off, this part would be rooted, and I could just chop this part here and then be away with that side and still have it growing. So, but so far I haven't got anything off of this one. And oh look, as a matter of fact, I just started to see this. Oh, these are a bunch of aphids. Who's getting hit really bad? You can see them all in there. I gotta come and spray this off real quick. So you're just gonna want to put your hose on jet and then spray these suckers off. And there we go. Basically all gone. I don't see any, maybe one or two stragglers here and there. Just gonna wipe them off real quick. That's how you can quickly get rid of aphids. And if you didn't notice already, I put this fence in here that I got for free that I talked about early in one of my videos. But I put this across the dog kennel and laid the grapevines right across it. So I should have done this way earlier, but I just realized that I had a bunch of this fencing that was just sitting there on the floor, and realized I could use it and have the vines grow across. And I've kind of used the same ties that I did with those banana peppers. So it's a real loose wire with a rubber coating, and basically just keeping these in the direction that I want them to go. I'm just gonna harvest the rest of these grapes. Look at that. Whew. It's about like 5 pounds right here. Next up we got the yellow squash. Got a few still growing. Starting to yellow. I'm gonna start cutting back some of these dead leaves. But still green. A little more powdery mildew. Unfortunately, the jalapenos got hit with some insect damage and they really didn't recover, so I'm gonna end up pulling these out. I cut back the green onion, they're already starting to grow back. Here I have another tomato, and then have the starts, some of which I already planted out in the garden. We got some more cannabis starts here. These are doing good. I did end up planting 2 seeds in there, but don't worry, I'll end up separating them and they won't die, they'll bounce back. Oh, this. Someone took a big chunk out of this. This is new. But this is a white bush squash. Sorry, Ace. This one's a white bush scallop squash. It's a mouthful. I got some of these jelly melons. They're already starting to grow up the trellis. And then I have some more banana peppers here. And the lime tree. Can't go wrong with limes. And here, well, Morning Glory obviously exploded. And it's just growing everywhere it can. I gotta definitely cut this back before it starts trying to trellis onto the grapes, and definitely don't want to do that. But the tomatoes have been doing okay. But oh, look at this. Look what I just found. What does that look like to you? Hornworm just hanging out, just munching on my plants. Gross. These are like, I don't like to do this without gloves, but these guys are really soft and it's gross. But I'm gonna have to take one for the team. He doesn't want to come off. Gross. Ugh. He's gone. Ugh. That green juice from my plant coming out of the damn hornworm. It's gross. But anyways, as I was saying, because these morning glories are so big and this is south, it's really getting shaded out for most of the day. So that's why the tomatoes aren't as big as I would want them to be. So either way, they are still producing. This is a Brad's Atomic Grape. Same thing with a few of these. And again, look at how tall, look how much the morning glory has grown. I ain't gonna lie, guys, it's literally halfway to the top already. It's insane how much this morning glory has grown. And it is providing the privacy that we want it to. So if anything, I'll probably end up turning this whole planter into just a flower patch to bring in the pollinators. Got the jasmine, the cosmos that is pretty much spent, it's pretty much dry, and there is some green growth, but yeah, I think it's spent already, so I'm gonna pull this out pretty soon. Got another jelly melon there, the aloe, and the dragon fruit. Oh yeah, look at that. So this dragon fruit completely exploded, left those two behind, which again I still have yet to separate, but that's alright. This one is doing really well. So you're starting to split into three, it already split into 3 heads. So that's just gonna do its thing and cascade over, and eventually this signals to the dragon fruit once it starts to flop over like that to fruit. So I mean, we're at the end of August, so hopefully by maybe the end of fall I might be able to harvest something. If not, maybe next spring. There's some aerial roots there. And so here, the tomatoes, I mean, we've harvested a whole lot of tomatoes already. This one got hit really bad with spider mites, which I wasn't on top of, but I ended up spraying everything with some neem oil and some essential oils. But there's some green to the tip of this, still has fruit. So I'm just gonna let this ripen, then these ones as well, I'm gonna let them ripen up and probably take this one out. This one's also got hit, but as you can see, most of it is green still. Still some brownness. A lot of fruit still in the back. So for the most part, all of the tomatoes are doing okay. One or two definitely got to cut out. And then the spinach you can see here in the back is starting to seed, which is why I left it in. I'm just gonna collect these seeds, and why not? I get free seeds instead of having to pay $1 or $2 for a little pouch. I can have a whole plant's worth of seeds for free. Ended up pulling out the corn, and I planted some beans. I know it's late in the season for beans, but I'm gonna try and get a harvest before the end of fall. Because I mean, in my zone we don't really get a killer frost, So you can see the beans are starting to sprout. So I have 3 different varieties. I got the dragon tongues, I got a semi-bush, and then I got a yellow bush over there. So the thought process behind it is having 2 bush tomatoes, which obviously bush out instead of growing tall. And this middle one here is a semi-bush, so it's gonna grow a little bit taller than the two on the side. So it'll kind of give it like a wave effect. That was just something I thought about before I planted them, because you don't want to have something tall here then small and small, or you know, just make it look more symmetrical and thought out. Got the cannabis here, one of the cannabises. This one's starting to look a little dry, and I keep coming out and shaking these and see the grasshoppers fly off of them and try to get them before they fly away, but we'll see what happens with these. These are the clones that I took off of the mother plant that ended up dying on me, but they're starting to flower. If you can see, you have those white pistils. Those are the female anatomy of the plant. But this one and that one are doing really good. Showing signs of yellow. So might have to give it some nutrients soon. Let's give it some nitrogen. And the gladiolus, which has already flowered, is starting to die back. And then the watermelon, which I haven't got any watermelon at all, guys. I'm pretty sad. This was my first time growing watermelon though, but now that I have more room. But next year definitely going to stay on top of it more and probably train it to one stem instead of just letting it branch out like I did. But some more tomatoes on the side. I just planted a bunch of tomatoes this year. Here's another yellow neck squash. Now I took out the original one because this one got hit by blight really bad that was in here. And just an empty trellis. But you can see, as I said earlier, the jelly melons are starting to take off real nice. So hopefully they'll make it to the top, maybe even more by the end of the season. So hope you guys enjoyed the tour. For anyone out there that knows an easy recipe that I can use all those grapes with, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, you won't get a harvest if you don't sow seeds.